It's past 3 a.m. in a council house in Enfield, North London. Everyone in the room is awake. Nobody is moving. A camera clicks in the dark, rigged to catch whatever happens next. What it captures still splits believers and skeptics apart 50 years later. 11-year-old Janet Hodgson, ripped from her bed mid-sleep, her body frozen in the air, caught between the mattress and the ceiling. 2 witnesses outside claim they watched her float past the window. By now, more than 30 people have watched this family come undone. Police officers who filed reports they still can't explain. Investigators who arrived certain it was a hoax. Most of them didn't leave certain of anything. Furniture flipped itself in empty rooms. A cast iron bed, heavy enough to need 2 grown men to lift, ended up on its side. Marbles flew across the house and landed without a sound, like something set them down. Then, one December night, something happened to Janet's voice. It dropped, low and wet and wrong, clawing out of an 11-year-old's throat. It said its name was Bill. It said it died alone, in a chair, downstairs. No one in that house had any way of knowing a man like that had actually lived and died there. But 4 months earlier, none of this had started yet. It started with something so small, so easy to explain away. Just one knock on one wall in the middle of the night. August 30th, 1977, a council house on Green Street, Enfield. Peggy Hodgson lives here with her 4 children, alone, since her husband left. Money is tight. The house is ordinary in every way that matters. No history of strange happenings. No interest in the occult. Just a tired single mother getting her kids through the school year. That night, Janet and Margaret call out from their bedroom. Peggy finds their heavy chest of drawers standing in the middle of the room. It had been pushed against the wall hours earlier. She pushes it back herself. It takes real effort. 20 minutes later, it's back in the middle of the room again. Peggy calls the police, expecting them to laugh her off. They don't. WPC Carolyn Heaps arrives and watches a chair slide across the floor on its own, no one touching it. She signs a report confirming exactly what she saw. Word spreads fast. A reporter and photographer from the Daily Mirror show up to see for themselves. Photographer Graham Morris sets up in the children's bedroom, camera ready. He doesn't wait long. Marbles fly across the room and land without a sound, like something sets them down. Morris has covered plenty of stories. He's never seen anything land like that. The Mirror calls the Society for Psychical Research. That call brings a grieving man named Maurice Gross straight to their door. Maurice Gross doesn't look like a ghost hunter. He's an engineer, careful, exact. But grief brought him here, not curiosity. A year earlier, his daughter died in a motorcycle accident. Her name was Janet. She was 22. After she died, strange things kept happening around his family, things he couldn't explain. So he joined the Society for Psychical Research, looking for answers. Now he's standing in a house with another Janet, 11 years old, and something that won't leave her alone. He doesn't tell the family about his daughter. Not yet. He and fellow investigator Guy Lyon Playfair move in for the long haul. Over the next year, they'll make 180 visits to this house. 25 of those, they stay all night, wide awake in the dark. The activity doesn't slow down for them. It gets worse. Toys launch themselves across rooms with no one near them. Knocking comes from inside the walls, steady, deliberate, like something counting. Then, one night, they hear a crash upstairs. The children's bed is flipped completely onto its side. It's cast iron. It takes 2 grown men straining together to lift it back up. No child in that house could have done it alone. Gross writes it all down, hour by hour. He's certain something profound is happening here. He just doesn't expect what comes out of Janet's mouth next. December 1977. 4 months in, and Gross is losing patience. Within earshot of Janet, he says something out loud. "All I need now is the voices to talk." That night, something in the house listens. Janet starts speaking, but the sound isn't hers. Low, guttural, wet, like it's dragging itself up through her throat. An 11-year-old girl. speaking in the voice of a grown man. A speech therapist examines the tapes. The verdict is worse than anyone expected. The voice isn't coming from her larynx at all. It's coming from her false vocal folds, just above it. The same technique Tibetan monks use for deep chanting. Hold that position more than a few minutes, and your throat should start to tear itself apart. Janet keeps talking for hours. Her voice never breaks. To rule out a trick, they fill her mouth with water and tape her lips shut. The voice keeps coming anyway, muffled but unmistakable. Then it gives itself a name, Bill. It says it went blind before it died. Says it had a hemorrhage, fell asleep in a chair downstairs, and never woke up. Nobody in that house has ever heard of a man named Bill, but records later confirm it. A man matching that exact description really did die in that house, years before the Hodgsons moved in. Janet had no way of knowing that, and Bill isn't finished talking yet. By now, this house has stopped being just a home. It's become a stage, and something is performing on it every night. Police officers who came in skeptical leave without an explanation. Journalists who came for a headline leave rattled. More than 30 people have now witnessed something they can't explain away. Then comes the night everything reaches its peak. It's past 3 a.m. Investigators have rigged a camera in the girl's bedroom, wired to a shutter down the hall. The moment they hear movement, they fire it blind into the dark. What develops the next morning stops everyone in the room. Janet, caught mid-air, ripped from her bed, frozen between the mattress and the ceiling. Outside, 2 separate witnesses swear they saw her floating past the window that same night. Neither of them knew the other had seen it too. Skeptics start circling. Investigators Anita Gregory and John Beloff arrive certain they'll catch a trick. They leave suspicious, but they never catch one. Word crosses the ocean. American demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren show up at the door, uninvited. They stay less than a day. Playfair later says Ed spent most of that time talking about how much money a story like this could make. Then they're gone, and the house is left with what it started with. A tired mother, 4 children, and something that isn't finished with them yet. Months later, the story cracks open from a direction nobody expected. Janet and Margaret admit it. Some of what happened, they faked. Janet later puts a number on it, around 2%. It sounds small, but it's enough to make you question everything else. Skeptics seize on it immediately. If they lied about some of it, why believe any of it? Believers push back just as hard. Over 30 witnesses outside the family watched things no one has ever fully explained. Police officers, journalists, investigators who arrived certain it was fake and left without an answer. Nobody agrees on where the 2% ends and the rest begins. Peggy Hodgson never changed her story, right up until she died in 2003. Maurice Gross kept his case files until his death in 2006. He always insisted his grief never clouded what he saw. Janet grew up, married, and goes by a different name now. She rarely gives interviews. When she does, she says the same thing every time. It's never really left her. Not the sounds, not the voice, not the 2% she can explain, or the rest of it she still can't. Somewhere in that gap, the truth is still sitting in the dark, waiting to be caught on camera again.